Is this the first? Is that the first reacher?
Yeah, I literally just, when you texted me, I was just coming back from the library. Just picked it up this morning. So yeah, since I'm off, figured I can't wait for the episode Thursday. I'm all caught up. It's a good show, man. I'm glad you recommended it.
Yeah. Did you see the movies with Cruise? Actually,
I never saw them.
The first one's good. The second one not as good, but they're just different. They play it differently. But listen, I have a cousin, Teddy, who has read all the books. So someone actually said he didn't want to watch it because he loves the books. So I was like, all right, well, I was like, all right, then, hey, whatever you want to do. So now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge book person, but I some books I can really get into, like certain topics. I had read heavily on the Navy SEALs, on the Mafia, reading the Giants book, but just some things I pick up and I just can't get into. So we'll see. I'll give it a try, see how it goes. But yeah, usually if you like a book, it's usually better than the movie. So
yeah,
we'll see.
We shall see. Did you watch?
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the Ranger game last night?
No, I got home, and being I was off for 4 days, I had things I had to do and some phone calls and stuff I had to make. So I mean, I had it on a little bit, but didn't catch it at all. No.
And the Knicks are playing tonight, right? Knicks are playing.
I believe it's tonight. I got the schedule. NBA right up here. Yeah, they got Houston. Yeah, who's up and coming young team. So 7:30 at home.
We'll see if those role players can get the job done tonight.
Yeah, there's actually an interesting article on The Athletic. I don't know if you saw it about, you have The Athletic, correct?
Yes.
Did you see the article about the Knicks willing to move Grimes to get a creator, which was my point. I understand what you're saying, guys can step up, but there's just, I think the NBA is a little different where if you're not a creator, if you're a guy who can't, be the guy who initiates the offense, and not just initiates as mean calls out the play, but you have possession of the ball and you're either off the dribble, creating enough space for you to shoot, or driving and and a key part is bringing other defenders for you then to kick out to create open shots for one guy or the next pass, 2 or 3 passes to get an open shot. That's a skill set that not a lot of NBA guys have. Now, can DiVincenzo give you a 30 in a game because, he gets hot shooting and Brunson is creating open looks for him? Yes, they can. But to be that guy who is skilled enough to collapse a defense on him or to create the open space himself, that's what, the Knicks are lacking, and that's what the Athletic article is about. The numbers with the Knicks are when you don't have Brunson or Randall on the floor since the RJ and quickly trade, they're the worst in the NBA by far with points per 100 possessions. Oh. When they have those guys on the court, they are far and away the best team because they have that creator, and then the other guys they brought around there are good shooters, can knock down the open shot. So the Knicks are looking to add a creator to fill the role that quicker than RJ did.
I was just talking about the Orlando game. Everybody else stepped up, and like McBride, had 15 points more than he averaged had 20. He averaged 5 coming in, but Randall only had 15, and they could have used those even 4 points from him in the game. That's what I'm saying. Everybody else.
Yeah, he was hobbled clearly.
Yes, hobbled, but not hobbled enough to come off the court. Hobbled, but not.
Well, yeah. I mean, he wanted to stay in there, and we kill guys who don't. No. He's out with it. We want guys to play when they're injured, or they're hurt but not injured. But then when they do and don't quite perform as well, it's a double-edged sword. Who is going to replace him at that point?
No, but that
you're talking about
nobody. No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's no one. Yeah, at that point, their depth is getting eaten so much because Brunson's out too.
And they lost 25, 26 points for Brunson, and even the rest of the guys, some guys stepped up, and like Hart. I need Hart to have some time. That's what I needed. I needed Hart to have like 15, 20 on against Orlando.
Yeah, he's having a down year. He's definitely having a down year for himself, and yeah, he's and the frustrating point with that is, Thibodeau, I go back and forth to Thibodeau. He's a good coach overall, but he's very stuck in his views of personnel. He plays Hart at the 2 guard. So he refuses to play DiVincenzo and Grimes together. He doesn't want to do that. Where Grimes can play small forward, he's a stronger guy. We saw him defend Jimmy Butler in the playoffs last year. Did a good job, but he doesn't want to play those together because they're similar players. They play similar position. But he will play Hart at the 2 guard, and Hart is not a two guard. He doesn't shoot well on the outside. He's not a two guard, but he'll play him there with Grimes, and that's kind of like the same thing. And he doesn't play Randall at the 5, which is very frustrating because Randall could be a mismatch and at the 5. And I'm not saying play all the time, but there are definitely times he could play there and put more of a shooting offense out there and do better than Achua would at times, depending on who the matchup is. And so, yeah, it's frustrating with Thibs and his lineups. And, yeah, Hart's not playing well, but refuses to sometimes when that's happening, it's later in the games, refuses to not play him and maybe play Grimes instead. Grimes' minutes are down. So,
did you see yesterday, I saw the Suns played KD at the 5 with the lineup. They put him in the 5. They were plus 19 in those 5 minutes. It's like, you know, all these teams are trying different.
Yeah.
Ham keeps trying different lineups, and Tibbs is just stuck. Like I'm playing these guys, and I'm like, dude, you have to adapt. You have to. That's what makes a great coach. Is it's not working, and like you said, Hart's down this year, and he's not he's a slasher. He's not a shooter. He's never been. Has he ever been really a shooter? I mean.
No, he's never been, and he's one of the best rebounding guards in the league, which is good. He can guard you anywhere from the 4 to some point guard, depending on who it is. But he can from 2, 3, or 4. He could definitely defend well, and he, like I said, he rebounds well, and he runs the open floor well, and finishes at the hoop well with and so that's good. But yeah, like you said, he's stuck in his ways, and it's frustrating.
Yeah, so. Oh, and Bubbles. What were we going to say? Keep talking. What were we going to say?
Randall at the like I said, Randall at the 5. He played the 5 many times previous to coming to the Knicks. There's a year where I think it's 50% of his minutes, and and another year 37% of his minutes were at the 5. And he's a strong guy. And if you against Memphis, is it Memphis? No, Dallas. They had Markieff Morris playing center, who's 6'8".
Okay.
And they kept playing Achua against him. And you can't play Randall at the 5 then against Markieff Morris. Like, Randall matches up well against him. And then you have OG at the 4. And then you can have Hart at the 3, which is Hart plays the 3 well. And maybe Grimes at the 2. And then point guard McBride. And now you have a very good offense out there. And then, maybe your defense, your rebounding. Randall's a good rebounder for a small forward or a power forward, but your rebounding doesn't take as much of a hit with Hart out there because he's a good rebounder. And DiVincenzo's a good rebounder at the 2 guard, so maybe DiVincenzo at the 2 instead of Grimes. So you can make up for your rebounding. Now, yes, blocking shots isn't going to be a big thing with Randall, and that's something that Thibs is stuck on. He needs to have a rim protector, and I get it. You want to have on your roster and maybe more minutes to not have a rim protector, but certain times, like you said, put a small lineup out there, like KD at the 5, and it worked for him, plus 19.
Yeah, I just keep seeing, you have to play around with the lineup, and I think he gets gets tunnel vision. And listen, like you said, the Magic are not that Magic of old. They're a much better team. Banchero is a very good ball player. That team has turned into a little team. I mean, they got so. I just was like, I like them to steal wins like that in a game because they didn't look good against Memphis the game before. So, but they got the win. And they didn't have. So, what is he? That's the first 2 games that Brunson's missed this season, right?
Correct. So. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's where Tibbs. This kind of the issues. I think when you get games like that, Tibbs's inflexibility cost them a chance to maybe win a game, maybe, yes, so Randall's out, maybe, or Randall's hobbled, maybe you could throw different lineups out there that'll get up and down the court quicker, so you're not really focused on a creator at that point because you're getting up and down the court, so you're getting maybe a little bit more open looks in the open floor, so you don't need to create as much. But, yeah, I think that's where Thibs kind of hurts you. He's a good coach and he wins games, but, at some point you're going to get in the playoff series and his inflexibility is going to cost you against a smart coach like Spoelstra. A coach like him gets every ounce out of his team. And I think, Tibbs' inflexibility may end up costing them in a playoff series. And then, so we'll see. I mean, it may come to a point where they may have to move on past him, and I don't know whether the front office will, but you may get to a point where you may, that may be what's best for the team.
Really? Now,